Has your health been covered up? Today, it's Revealing Wholeness with Dr. Troy Munson, presented to you by Infinity Whole Health.
Hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Troy Munson on Revealing Wholeness. In this particular episode, we're continuing on with undoing the mind. And this one, we're going to be using the body today to help us actually feel what's going on inside of our head and how do we release that. So today we're going to call it unblocking the healing flow of life. And we could even call it non-resistance. And so we'll talk a little bit about non-resistance in just a moment, but I want to talk about this block in the flow of healing or energy in the body. If some of you out there are sitting and relaxed and maybe listening on a phone, if you're in a car, you may not be able to do this. When we would pray or be taught to prayer like hundreds, if not thousands of years ago, there's this unwritten rule of bowing the head. And the reason for the bowing of the head is we actually get out of our educated mind or our intellectual mind and we get into the feeling mind or the emotional aspect. And so that the act of putting the head down releases the mind from its thinking and now centers it actually on emotional centers within the body. And so this is a technique I'll use with clients who have a lot of emotional stuff that they're going through. But any of us have this and we can all feel it. If where you're sitting, let's say you think about something that has happened to you in your life that is unpleasant. You can pause it right here and do that. And when you've got that scenario and you've relived it and you kind of feel that rising of maybe even the heart palpitating or rising up of blood pressure, and you tip your head down, you may feel where that energy is stuck, whether it's right in the chest, could be centered over your heart, could be in your abdomen. But when you stick your head down or put your head down and you now stop the thinking of that incident or that thing in your life that you continually beats you up, so to speak, and you begin to just relax the muscle. It's almost like the body clutches, whether in the chest or the stomach or the abdomen, and you release that muscle gently and just let it go. Let the flow of energy now start to happen again, because energy is constantly coming to us. And if we try to trap it, if we try to stop it, if we try to think or mentally mash that event in our life, the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, we now begin to trap energy in our body. And so it traps in organs. So when we get sick, it is not a body that gets sick. It is a mind that gets sick. And the mind now becomes the tool that now is against the body when it's supposed to protect the body, make it well. The mind literally uninhibited wants only the best for the body, but in our mind we'll have all these hurts, these regrets, these things that we keep cherished in our mind, and we say, well, they did this to me, or I should have done this, or whatever it is. Those things will eat us alive, but they also keep us stuck and don't allow other greater things to come into our life. So every time that we resist something, we're now causing ourselves problems. That's the non-resistant side. Don't resist anything. Just let it keep on flowing. So people that are wealthy, they talk about flowing money. How much money can you flow? Well, in your life, there's only so much money that you can flow. And if you go above that, it'll go away from you. If you go below it, it'll start to come back to you. You have this level that you will bob at, like a bobber on a lake. All of us have that at different areas of our life, whether it's money, whether it's relationships, whether it's health, whether it's job, whether it's happiness. We all bobbing at different areas. If we want to change and go somewhere else, we must let go and flow more of that loving energy or money or relationship or whatever it is. Those are all things that we have to work on. So this technique, this is what we call the release technique. When we put the head down and we now let it go and just let that energy flow. Now, how you know you've done your job is when you can think about it and there is no response or clutching of muscle tension in your chest or abdomen. Until that happens, you still have work to do. Now, once you have totally freed it, you can actually go through a squeezing the lemon technique, we call it. And that is doing attachments and aversions. So I want to explain that really quick. All day long, our brain is living on desire. desire to pull things into our experience like money or relationships or job or whatever experience, like jumping out of an airplane or whatever, and it's trying to push things away that it deems that is not good, like not having money, having your car break down, whatever it is. We're trying to push and pull events all day long. So those are attachments and aversions. Well, when you've let go of something and you realize, gosh, this is kind of a big, what do they call that? A button that you push. This is a button that really hits me hard and heavy. You can do things like, let's say we take money, and you say, what if you had all the money you could ever desire? You had millions and millions and millions of dollars, and nothing you could do would ever get rid of it. Money was always going to come to you in every way, shape, and form. A lot of people, that would be kind of scary to them. And so we don't want more fear, but we do want to be able to, inside, let go of that thought that may be attached with too much money. Because if we want to flow more money, we have to have a new thought process. And so you can literally use this technique to now let go of those old ways in your brain that actually inhibit you from going somewhere brand new in your life. Let's say that it's health. And let's say that we said you were as healthy as you could possibly be. Your energy was phenomenal. Every joint worked great. And you could just go all the time. Some people wouldn't like that. That means that more people would depend on them, and maybe they don't want that. And so there's going to be some aversions to having too much health, weirdly enough. But let's say that we use the reverse now and say, what if you were going to be sick the rest of your life and not be able to do anything pretty much on your deathbed, but for 30 years? That would be an aversion to many people. We wouldn't like that. And so we would be clutching in our abdomen or our chest, and that needs to be let go of too, and not resist anything. Now, granted, if we're actively releasing and allowing our life to be the most loving thing and the most light-filled thing that it can be, we're probably going to not have sickness always around us. But we still need to make sure that it's okay that thought stays there without having resistance, because that will actually make us not so well. So we kind of beat around the bush of this release technique. If you have questions, concerns, if you want at least more information on this, go ahead and email me, call me, and I will get you information on that, and you can do it to your heart's content. And so until next time, I'm Dr. Troy Munson on Revealing Wholeness.
This concludes another episode of Revealing Wholeness with Dr. Troy Munson. If you have any questions concerning this podcast or others, you can reach Dr. Munson by email at chiroman, that's CHIRO man, at dr.com. Or you can call him at his office during office operation hours at 360-893-8586. This show is sponsored by Infinity Whole Health on the Disruptors Podcast Network.